Hi again. I'm KitKath in the kitchen and in your home. Today, again, I'm focusing on the home aspect. I am a recreation therapist. I work with the elderly, and in this time, both those who are immobile, who may not go out often, as well as those with dementia, have a likelihood of feeling unsettled at this time because they are not out to see what's really going on, and they feel unsettled. Their schedules are off, and it's very likely that those who normally visit are not visiting. So what do you do when someone says to you, "My brother hasn't visited in so long, he must not love me anymore," or "What's going on? Nobody loves me," and they cry. So how can you reassure them that they're loved, one, and two, that those that they love are okay? So in my previous video, I gave you some tips on how to do that. So how else can you make sure that those who aren't having visitors and who aren't allowed to go out don't feel forgotten because they haven't had their usual visitors in a while? And those who have dementia, they will have a feeling. You might think that if their dementia is has progressed, that they're not aware. But I've worked with people with dementia for about a decade, and I've noticed in doing sing-alongs that after a while, the residents I work with will become sick of a song, and they may not be able to put the words to it, but they're tired of it. And they might start to begin to say things like, "Haven't we done this one already?" The same thing with puzzles. They may be able to do it over and over for some time, but eventually they might somewhere inside remember that this is getting old. So remember that just because someone has dementia doesn't mean that there's certain things that they don't feel in their bones that are missing, such as family that normally visit, because it is part of their routine. So if the person they want to see is alive, you can telephone them. You could also use video chats if you have a smartphone or access to a computer with Skype, FaceTime, WhatsApp. There's numerous ways to video chat, or grab a regular telephone. Remember, it should be very loud so that they can hear it, because that is often a problem with seniors with or without dementia. And if it's a regular phone that they can hear the top, see the top and the bottom, that probably is more helpful than a cell phone. You could try to use speaker, but if someone's dementia has progressed, they might be very confused as to where the noise is coming from, especially if it's progressed so far that they have trouble with distance, because this does happen, where unless somebody is about 6 inches from you, they won't be able to see. So just keep those things in mind and know the senior you're working with. So you can ask somebody, "Would you like to call your sister on the phone?" If they're not alive, "Would you like to write a letter to your mother?" And if their disease has progressed past the point of understanding, giving them a treat and saying it's from the person they're thinking of, such as, "Oh, Jane, this is from your son. He came to visit, and I couldn't find you." Or, "Oh, Jane, so-and-so came earlier, but you were taking a nap, but he wanted me to give you this with love." And maybe you'll say, "Oh, he'll come again as usual," something like this, depending on the person. If their visitor usually brings something special with them, like a donut or a cup of coffee or chocolate or flowers, wine, a smile, the newspaper, whatever that is, this would be a really great thing to give to that person. "Oh, so-and-so wanted me to give you this." And I find that if there's not something special, then chocolate or flowers work really well, because they're the delicious aspect, or the pretty visual aspect, is a good distraction. So remember, it's the thought that counts and the feelings being remembered that they invoke. So do your best to reassure that person that all is well, that there is no change, that things are normal, and they will go on. And this is KitKath in the kitchen and in your home. I hope you have a wonderful day.